Hello everyone! Today's recipe is one of the latest new pattern cookies that has become my best-selling item in my pantry. So if you want to learn how to make them, then just keep watching. Starting with a clean dry bowl, we will take room temperature butter. When I say room temperature, it needs to be soft to touch but firm to hold its shape. To this we will add the icing sugar or home ground powdered sugar. Make sure to sift it as it leaves a gritty texture in the cookies after baking. And in case you wish to swap this with jaggery, surely you can do that too, using either the same quantity or lesser depending on the sweetness of the jaggery. Now what I'm doing here is simply creaming the butter and sugar. Mix it until you get a smooth consistency, almost like a buttercream. This looks perfect. Next, we will take some oil in a bowl, to which we will add some water and baking powder. What we are doing here is creating an egg replacement for our cookies. Whisk it well and add it to the butter and sugar mixture. I'd highly suggest this substitute than the actual egg. Reason being, one is that it gives an extra crisp texture to the cookies, and two, it increases the shelf life of the cookies, which can be stored in an airtight container for up to a month over the counter. This looks good. Now let us go ahead and add the flour. In case you wish to use whole wheat flour, you'll need to use just about 225 grams. I'll leave the amount in the description box below. But be gradual in adding it to form the dough, as every flour works differently. Now be gentle while you're mixing the dry into the wet. And it's best to add it in batches. This helps to ensure we incorporate all the flour without over-mixing. Let us talk about how this recipe is so special. It's because it's so versatile, you can easily make it your own. If you like a little crunch, add some chopped nuts. And if you like chocolate, feel free to add chocolate chips. It's a perfect recipe for those who want something that's new in style and works like a charm. Now all you need to do is bring it together by hand, making sure we only use our fingertips. Avoid kneading the dough. This looks good. Now set that aside and bring out a separate bowl. At this point, we're going to create our flavors. So take half a portion of the dough. And don't worry about being perfect in portioning. You can simply eyeball it. To the first bowl, we will add vanilla essence along with cornstarch. This is to keep the tenderness in the cookies while maintaining the dough consistency. You can very well skip it if you don't have it. To the other bowl, we will add the Belgian chocolate essence, along with cocoa powder. The flavoring here can be swapped with some coffee extract or some spice mix of cinnamon and nutmeg. It's entirely up to you. Mix it in till you get an even coloring on the dough. Next, we will take a parchment paper on our workstation, dust it with some flour, and taking half a portion of the white dough, Once again eyeballing the portion. Press it to flatten for easy rolling. And dust again with the flour. We will take 2 towels and place them on either side of the dough. This is to help roll out to an even thickness. Trust me when I tell you, it saves a whole lot of time not having to worry about an uneven thickness at any point. And in case you do not have the towels, surely you can use a good sturdy straw. Once done, we will simply take a bench scraper and shape the dough to a somewhat square shape. And once that's done, take it onto a tray and refrigerate it until the next step. Now, just like the vanilla dough, we will take half the portion of the chocolate dough and repeat the process. I've taken the size to match the vanilla dough, which is about 6 by 6 inch square. That's about the size of your cake tin. Once you're done with this, bring out your vanilla dough, which is now firm enough to handle. Lightly tap it with plain water. This acts as an adhesive, but make sure not to overdo it. Now gently place the vanilla dough over the chocolate dough, making sure to meet the ends. And don't worry if they may not match in size. Flip this over, and the idea is to have a firm dough at the bottom to help ease out the process. Slice the dough starting with 2 halves. And then into further halves. Make sure to wipe your knife clean as you go. This helps to achieve a clean edge to the cookies. Now take a large bench scraper and lift one portion to place it over the other, just like creating a stack of dough. And I'd like to share a quick tip here. In case you do not have this bigger bench scraper, simply refrigerate the dough until firm and stack them by hand. It'll be super easy to work with, but remember to lightly brush with water to help adhere the dough. And here we have a beautiful clean stack of dough alternating between the vanilla and chocolate. Now gently roll it over, sealing it with the parchment paper to hold its shape. And this will go into the fridge along with the second batch of dough for about 30 minutes. Once refrigerated, we now have a firm stack of dough to slice into. Taking a sharp knife, slice it to a 1/4 inch thickness. These look so pretty with the even coloring of the chocolate and vanilla. One thing I've learned over time is that baking doesn't have to be rigid. Once you understand a basic recipe, you can adjust it to your liking. That's what I enjoy most. You don't have to stress about getting it perfect. Lay them out on a parchment-lined baking tray, and they won't spread as much on baking, so you can place them accordingly. This will go into the preheated oven for about 14 minutes, just until they have a light golden coloring on the edges. Pretty little striped cookies. Almost like store-bought, I'll say, don't you think? And quite breathtaking. I'm sure your loved ones would be surprised to know you created these at your home with just a few simple ingredients. It's a nice reminder that baking can be relaxed and still turn out really good, even if you're still a beginner. Time to see how they've turned out. Perfect little golden browning on the bottom. And I love how they've got this crisp yet tender crumbs on the inside. Try it and tell me about your creations in the comments below. Thank you for watching, dear friend. Bye for now. I wanted to take this moment to say I shared 5,000 cookies with little angels in Roha village. This is my way of saying thank you. Forever grateful and so blessed to give back. God bless them all.